Welcome to Unit 3, where we'll be working on writing a personal narrative. For our first lesson, Lesson 3.1, we're going to be asking the question of what is a personal narrative? Something that most of you have probably written before, but we're going to review. So for Lesson 3.1, we have a couple goals. For our I can statement, I can describe what a personal narrative is, and our essential question is what is a personal narrative? Our directions for this lesson. Copy all notes highlighted in yellow to your notes sheet. Pay close attention to the discussion so that you are able to answer questions after this video. Pause the video on each page so that you can take notes. Look for the pause sign as a sign to know when to pause. Do not skip ahead. You may be given instructions during the video that go beyond just taking the notes, and this applies for every video lesson for this unit. So, note number 1. On your sheet, write down the highlighted text. It says, personal narratives are a retelling of an event or moment from the life of a writer. For note 2, personal narratives are best written when they focus on brief moments rather than on long periods of time. Think of memorable moments in your life. What comes to mind? For note 3, most are written in the first person point of view. First person point of view is the I and we perspective. For example, you might read something that says, I went to the beach. That was likely written in first person point of view. For note 4, a personal narrative must start with a strong and interesting opening. This is often called the lead or the hook. You want your reader to be pulled into the story. You want them to be so interested that they are hooked into reading the entire thing. How can you do this? Make sure that your personal narrative starts interestingly. Note number 5. Personal narratives must be sequenced with a clear beginning, middle, and end. One of the challenges of writing a story is keeping it organized. Remember that your audience did not experience this event with you. Note number 6. Personal narratives use transition words to help connect events in the story. This goes really for any type of story. Certain words and phrases connect events in your story and help the story flow. These are called transitions. Note number 7. Dialogue is used to show speaking between the narrator and others in the story. Dialogue can be really tough to write, but in order for your story to be realistic and true to life, you will need to show it within your personal narrative. We will practice it. Note number 8. Including sensory details is important to describe characters and the setting. Sensory details relate to the 5 senses and are one way to help bring your story to life. Take a second to reflect. What are the 5 senses? Note number 9. Your story must include a strong conclusion that illustrates what you learned or took away from the experience. First impressions are important, but consider that the conclusion is the last part your reader will remember, and you'd like them to have good memories of your story. Note number 10. Your story should cover a moment that you remember very, very well. Don't try to write about events that you don't remember or those you don't remember very well. I have a lot of students who try to write about something from very, very early in their life, sometimes when they were even babies, and it does not work because their memories end up just being things that they've been told by parents or other people around them, and the story just ends up kind of confusing. Make sure you remember the story yourself. So as we end this video, we'll end with a review question. What is a personal narrative? We just went through 10 notes that described it, so you should know pretty well. This concludes the video portion of Lesson 3.1.